Hello, and welcome to your follow-up meditation from the Lead Out Loud workshop. So in that workshop, we talked about a new definition of leadership and then really listening to your heart to own your calling, something that Carrie and I really align with is that in order to be the leader that you want to be, to create the impact and the change that you want to change, part of that process is really tuning in and knowing yourself and being able to show up authentically so that you can create the most impactful, authentic change possible. So if you have not listened to that workshop yet, go ahead and go back and watch the replay. There was a meditation in that workshop where we were really tuning in to listening to our heart's calling. And so again, if you haven't done that meditation, I do recommend doing that one first because we're going to call back in some of the things from that meditation in today's meditation. One of those things being in that first meditation, I had asked you to visualize like this version of your highest self following your heart's calling, how that person shows up and how it feels. So that was really meant to evoke feelings of, of joy and standing in your power, and whatever it brought up for you is exactly what it needed to bring up for you, but just to help you recall what it might have been. So like how you feel showing up as your most authentic self, leading from your heart, being true to what you're being called to do and how you're being called to show up, whether that is in a work type setting, in your community, in your family, whatever it might be. So if you feel the need to go back to that meditation, please do so. And I also want to bring to your attention that I had asked you to come into a hand position during that original meditation, and I'm going to have you bring that hand position back. So if you don't remember what it was, again, I would encourage you to maybe just, even if you don't want to go back to that first meditation, spend some time right now, like visualizing that version of yourself showing up, being heart-led, showing up with like your truest self in mind, your most authentic self, showing up from the heart. And as the feelings start to build, that version of yourself that is already you, already right here within you, evokes, just taking a hand position, whatever you want it to be, grabbing your ear or touching a knuckle or something like that, allowing the feelings to really build up and reach their peak. And then when the feelings start to dissipate, you can take away the hand motion. And the point of this is that whenever you want to recall that feeling, you take the hand position again. And this really works best when you use it repeatedly. So calling those feelings in, right? Like whether it's every time you're about to go into a chaotic situation at work, you call that in. How do I really want to show up? Whether it's right before you react to a situation at home with your spouse, your kids, your friends, whatever it might be, calling back in that authentic self, that version of you that's following your heart's calling. Okay, so with all of that, we're going to get started on today's meditation. So finding a comfortable meditation seat, I do encourage you to be sitting in a position where your spine can be nice and long, the crown of your head reaching up toward the ceiling, your hips above your knees, even if just slightly. That'll help so that you don't get uncomfortable in this seated position that we're going to be in for a little while, probably between 10 and 15 minutes. And then allow your eyes to gently close or your gaze to soften if you're not in a location where you can comfortably close your eyes. Taking a nice deep breath in and exhaling, just relaxing your shoulders, maybe rolling your neck here or taking any last little movements that you need before you really settle into your meditation seat. And then take a deep breath in, filling up your lungs completely, feeling your belly expand. And then exhale slowly. Continuing with this nice, deep, intentional breath throughout our meditation. And I first want you to recall the feeling of interconnectedness that we explored together in our last meditation. That vast, invisible web connecting all of us, connecting all of life. see or sense yourself again as a radiant point within this vital web, a unique thread. Remember the support and connection that this web offers, the knowing that we are all a part of the greater whole. And now gently bring your awareness to your heart center, maybe placing one or both hands there. Taking a few soft breaths here, inviting your heart to soften and open. So maybe sending your breath to your heart space, encouraging it to open up. Maybe gently pulling your shoulders back, physically creating more spaciousness through your chest. And with your heart open, guide your attention to your third eye, your space of intuition, of inner knowing, the space at the center of your forehead between your eyebrows. Continuing to breathe deeply and intentionally, allowing your focus to settle here. Start to invite in again the quiet whispers that you heard during our last meditation. Recalling those gentle nudges, the yearnings and desires that surfaced from your heart, from your intuition. That inner knowing of exactly who you are and what you want. Now gently recall the hand position that you chose at the end of our last meditation, and mindfully bring your hands back into that same position now. And as your hands take this familiar shape, allow all of the feelings associated with your true calling, your authentic self, your highest self, to resurface. Maybe gently at first, or maybe they are just flooding back in as you take this hand position, allowing whatever is coming to just be, but noticing those emotions once more. Perhaps it's a bubbling sense of courage, a quiet hum of excitement, a deep resonance of joy or purpose. Allow yourself to fully experience whatever is coming up right now. Once again, allowing those feelings to reach their peak, and as they start to slip away, releasing your hand position, allowing your hands to rest comfortably in your lap, knowing that you can return to this hand position anytime to reconnect with the wisdom of your heart, the clarity of your calling, your highest self. With your awareness still at your third eye center, take a few moments to become aware of where you are right now on your journey. Leaning into the wisdom of your heart, ask yourself, what is the next right step on my path? Tune in, just listening for whatever comes without judgment, noticing if it is your insight or logical mind speaking to you, or if you're allowing your intuition to shine through. Noticing how what's ever coming up is landing in your body. Knowing that the next right step doesn't have to always make logical sense. It doesn't always have to be a giant leap. It might be a small, gentle movement forward, aligned with your inner knowing. And if you need to, ask yourself once more, what is the next right step on my path? What single action, however large or small, feels most authentic and true for me right now? Trust the quiet guidance that arises within you. Imagine this guidance being infused with energy and clarity, maybe as bright shining lights coming into that third eye center. Notice the support of the interconnected web. Know that you are not alone. Take a deep, intentional breath in, and then exhale with gratitude for the insight that came through. Acknowledge yourself for your willingness to listen to the inner guidance and to take the next right step. Gently begin to bring your awareness back to your physical body, maybe gently moving your fingers or toes. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes, carrying with you this renewed sense of direction and connection. Knowing that you can trust your journey and that you can trust yourself.